What is going on, my people? This is the Hidden Wisdom Podcast, episode number 8. The problems that plague the Western world. Now, I'm talking about the UK, I'm talking about fucking America, I'm talking about Europe, yeah? And basically, I just feel like, there have been many problems that I've come across. And I personally feel that this podcast well, I hope it benefits others who live in this society, because I feel like the governments and the media and the advertising and, the whole liberal thing, it's just disintegrating the society. It's giving the wrong message and it's full of deception, you know. And there's a couple of things that I just want to address in this lecture that I'm kind of giving. And I've been waking up to things relatively early on in my life. Like I'm in my late 20s at the moment, but earlier on in my life, it's just like I always question the society. You know, well, I would say I always did question it, but it wasn't strong enough. The questions were never strong enough. It was always a case of me, thinking, oh, maybe this isn't right, but then doing it anyway because all my peers were doing it. The society promotes it. The music videos are promoting it. So I'm just gonna get into a couple of points today, just to let you know where we are being attacked in this society. And I feel like number one is no doubt it's the adverts. It's the commercials on the TV, posters on the wall. Everywhere you go there's adverts and advertisements. And I just feel like we are getting these messages imprinted in our subconscious mind on a daily fucking basis, especially if you're watching the TV every day. If I was you, I would completely remove the TV from my life. Like that shit has no place in my life at all. Because it's just full of fucking adverts. Like you can sit there and all the adverts are telling you is fuck you. You are never ever good enough as you are. As God created you, you are never good enough. And I've always thought there was something wrong about this. Like we should accept how we came out into the earth. We should accept our bodies totally. But no, you need these makeup products. You need these. You need this hair dye for you're never good enough. You're never good enough. You're never good enough. So buy our shit, and then you'll be good enough. And it's just disgusting because okay, I get it. You're trying to sell your products, fine. But when we look into what the fuck is actually in this shit, this toxic crap that you're telling human beings to put on their face and put on their scalp and put on their hair, it's disgusting. It's so many toxic chemicals, which I believe is contributing to cancer and contributing to people. Like, I don't believe that people who use these products, then 20 years down the line, oh, I've got cancer, I've got heart disease, I've got blood pressure problems. Like, I just don't think that these imbalances in the body happen because, just out of nowhere. I believe it's years and years of purchasing this crap, this hot, and they obviously target to women. And I just feel like it's disturbing, to me. It just doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, that's one of the things that I get really annoyed about, and which is one of the main reasons I stopped watching the TV. And yeah, secondly, I feel that they promote all the wrong food. Since I really switched my life up to a healthy diet and trying to lead a healthy lifestyle, I keep coming across, you know, when I used to watch the TV as I was transitioning, all you would see is KFC, Burger King, McDonald's. I never once saw a fucking advert promoting apples or any fruit or any vegetables. It was always to do with fast fucking food and pizza delivery and all this crap. It's just like, they're attacking you so much in your head. They're showing you, and take Just Eat, the takeaway adverts. It's like, heaven forbid, you might make food on your own. You might go to the shop, you might buy some fruit, or you might buy some vegetables and some chicken or something. You might make your own dinner for under £4 or $5, or your dinner might be really low priced. But when you cook by yourself, but all the time you're spending like £20, $30 on takeaways all the time. It's like this fast food generation. But anywhere you go, on the streets, on the underground, on the trains, and anywhere you go, you just see fast food being promoted. It's fast food takeaways and drive-throughs are literally every fucking where. You can't get away from them. And I just feel like there is a bit of a conspiracy with this. I feel that, there is something going on there. It just doesn't make complete sense to me. So, I mean, that is, and it's very sadistic, because the more and more the society consumes this shit, the more and more there's like a direct correlation that we then go and eat. We need to rely on the medical system more and more. And we're going to start getting fucked up diseases. We're destroying our bodies with, sugary drinks, sugary foods, the Coca-Colas, the fucking Burger King, the Crackdonalds, Murder King, all of this shit, yeah? We're fucking fueling our bodies to become acidic, and we're really far away from an alkaline diet, which is what humans are supposed to be eating, right? And for me, it was a really big wake up call when I got my health problems. After 20 odd years, I was eating McDonald's all the time. I was leading up until that point. I was eating KFC, McDonald's, chicken burgers, just cheap chicken shops and sweets, biscuits, cakes, all of this stuff. I would constantly be consuming it. And for a couple of years of I would say for about 5 years of my life, I was constantly out on the road. Like when I went to university, when I used to be in London all the time. When you're out and about, you always need to get something quick to eat. I would constantly be eating McDonald's every day. I was constantly be just eating this disgusting food. Like now, at the time, I thought it was amazing. It tasted so good. But, now you couldn't even pay me to eat McDonald's. Like, even if I ate a burger from there, my taste buds have changed. My body is changing. I'm transitioning into a very healthy kind of, a lot of raw foods, and they're not promoting this in the society. They're promoting eating meat all the fucking time. And the only time I really respect anybody who eats meat is if they fucking kill the animal themselves and then they eat it. Like, that's because at least that way what's in the food. And I just feel like they're always promoting pork and all of this hot, at the end of the day, all these foods are so toxic to our system, but they're attacking us by constantly telling us we should eat this through the adverts and commercials and having drive-thrus everywhere, so we can't get away from it. And it takes a very strong-minded individual to actually stand up and say, you know what, enough is enough. I don't want to die. I don't want this stuff to kill me. It's not worth it. And then just carry on. And just one last message about this, because I know I'm rambling a little bit on the whole food topic, but if you're like me and you are lean and you are slim and you can eat whatever the fuck you want, you can eat 100 donuts, you can eat fried chicken every day, and you stay lean or muscular, you basically need a motherfucking wake up call. And this shit here, right here, where I'm speaking to you right now, this is your motherfucking wake up call in this bitch, because you need to change ASAP. Just because you can't see anything on the outside of your body, you need to wake the fuck up and start transitioning right now. You need to start looking into a raw food diet. You need to start looking into at least vegan diet, yeah? You need to get off the meats, you need to get away from the sugar and everything, and just start slowly transitioning into a healthier lifestyle. Because you don't want to end up like me. When I started getting skin problems and stuff like that out of the blue, I had to put it was from years and years and years of eating this disgusting food, this toxic. It's not even food. Your body doesn't even recognize it as food. So if I was you, I would seriously change my ways and start looking, at least doing some research. And if you want to take it slow, take it slow. You don't have to transition overnight, but start doing some research, start looking into a healthier, at least plant-based diet, look into that. So that's all I wanted to say on the food thing. Now, another thing with the Western society that I had growing up, in the UK, obviously I'm from Asian descent, but our parents are really pushing this idea from when we were young to work for a corporate company, a corporation, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all these top companies, these top firms, working in a cubicle, making money from these companies. Like, that's all we were all set out to do. And I never agreed to this, the way I saw it, you have no value. You're going to waste your life in the university system. Yeah. Which is a fucking joke. You're going to learn, get this qualification. You're going to get this degree. Then you're going to work at one of these top firms or these top companies. And you're going to say, I'm going to just sign my whole life away. So you're going to work 12 to 14 hours every fucking day. Yeah. Working in the city, you have to wear this suit that's like, fucking up your whole being, like it's so tight, so restrictive. And then you're gonna sit at this desk where they talk down to you, they treat you like a piece of shit, you're nothing, and you have to just do whatever they tell you to do. Now, the ethos of these companies, the background of these companies is something, fuck the money and the cubicle shit. I'm saying, just when we just look at it for what it really is, I have a problem with these companies. All these companies do are damage people's lives. They gamble with people's lives. They destroy the atmosphere. They're polluting the fucking ocean, and they're just, it's just nothing but toxicity that comes out of these Western companies. These Western companies are to satisfy a very small proportion of people. The rest of the people, they fucking exploit them. And it doesn't benefit humankind. It doesn't benefit man. Like, it destroys us on every level. And I've worked in these companies, and it destroys your health. You're working, doing something you fucking hate for some money. Like, you're turning up somewhere in the flesh for 12 hours. You can't, even if you're not even doing anything, you have to sit there for 5 hours and you're just chained to this desk. And I just have a problem with this. I don't understand. Your whole life, 40 years is rotting away in that fucking cubicle. Dude, what for? What are you gonna, at the end of it, what do you have to show for it? Because when I looked at the people who had been in these companies for 30 years, they had nothing to fucking show for this shit. They had poor health. They were getting all sorts of diseases because it's not a natural environment. They had poor health because they weren't sleeping. They had to get up so early in the morning, and they had to leave so late at night because they were there for 12 to 14 hours every day, trying to set a good impression to their managers that, look, I'm here, I'm going to spend more time, and blah, blah, blah. They have no money. The money, I don't understand it. You might be making 60 grand a year. Yeah, $60,000 or 60,000 pounds or something a year. Cool. You might have the car. You might have a luxury apartment. But you don't get to fucking enjoy it. All your fucking time, 90% of your motherfucking life is at that motherfucking desk. Do you get me? You cannot even enjoy the materialistic things that you're never in your house. You hardly can drive your car because you're always going to fucking work. And you're there all the time. And I feel like this is destroying the family unit as well, because the parents are always at work and the kids are raised by a fucking TV. Like, I don't understand this culture of work for a company that a lot of these companies, from what I've heard, are built off the back of slavery anyway. They're built off ill-gotten gains. They destroy people's lives and they're destroying the earth alongside it. And I don't understand why anyone in their right mind, they treat you like a piece of shit. And there is racism that goes on in these companies as well. They treat you like nothing. As soon as they're done with you, they make you redundant. You could be there for 20 years, 30 years. Then they're like, okay, we don't need you no more. Fuck off. Then what are you going to do? The person who works for these companies, they're so loyal. They really are loyal to the company. And they just get treated like nothing. And this is close to my heart. I am going to get passionate. I'm going to get fired up because it upsets me how much people in our Western society are being exploited for no reason. Like, we don't even need these companies. All they do is destroy our lives. They do nothing for us. What happened in 2008 with that crash? I don't understand this society. I just feel like it's such an unnatural environment to sit at a desk looking at a screen all day, people getting fucked up, back problems and all sorts of shit. And I just feel like we need to end this. This is the age of information. We need to stop these we need to get rid of these companies. We need to get rid of all this shit. And we need to go back into nature. And there's a reason for why the Western countries right now have so much sickness, mental health issues, alongside physical health issues. Because this so-called going to work, this system that we have will work yourself to the bone for these corporations is fucking killing people, you know? And I just feel like this leads on to my next point when it comes to things like de-stressing in our Western culture. We're told work isn't the problem. You should always go to work for these corporations, but you just don't have enough Adderall. You just don't have enough painkillers for your headaches. You just haven't drank enough coffee. You just haven't drank enough alcohol on the weekend to suppress yourself. You haven't smoked enough cigarettes. It's you that's the problem. You need stimulants in order to fucking function in this unnatural world. And this is what I'm seeing as well. Like I just mentioned, the mental health. I'm seeing people who are quote unquote doing so well after university in their corporate jobs. They're doing so well. They're getting the money. They got the car. They're working in the city. They got that status. They got the approval from their friends and family. Look at them. Look at what they're doing. But there is a deep fucking void inside these people. And I know these people. Even though I've worked in these companies, I've left that shit. But I still see people who are in that. And there's one thing they don't have. They don't have fulfillment in their life. They are alcoholics. They are not happy. They are smoking all the time. They are relying on stimulants to get them through the day. And they cannot wait for that Thursday, Friday night drinks and Saturday night and the drinks and the club, because they can't wait to get completely wasted, to escape this fucking hamster wheel life. They're just running, but they're getting nowhere. And I don't know, man. I just feel like the system at large, the Western education, and what we're told to do, work for these companies, is just disgusting, you know. And I just feel like with Caucasian people in general, you know, I just feel like when they run a society, they go so far from nature. They don't understand nature. They go so far away from it. And I've got friends in Singapore. I've got friends who live in different parts of the world who, when they moved there from the UK, they said it was so peaceful, it was so nice, like people were not really sick, the people were in really good health. And as soon as they had been there 5 years, the Western ideology came in and started putting a Starbucks in every corner, putting McDonald's and fast food everywhere. Now people are sick, now people are getting diseases. So it's just this Western, Caucasian kind of ideology that just makes me sick. And I don't think all white people are bad or anything like that. I just feel like there's a lot of white people who are health conscious. There's a lot of white people in the UK who live in rural areas who put so much emphasis on going for walks, having dogs, walking around all day, doing exercise, big into fitness, big into nature as well. They go out into nature all the time. So I'm not painting everyone with the same brush, but I'm just saying the Caucasian, the white male who runs and dominates a society it's a sickness, because they only want to profit themselves and very few people around them, but they want at the cost of fucking up the whole of society. And there's this greed and there's this ego. There's not this, there's not this caring nature for the society. And this is something that I've read about briefly. I'm not completely educated in it, but in the Islamic ideology, with the Sharia law, I just feel like all the needs of the citizens, they say, are met. The Sharia law is actually for the citizens. It's for them. It wants to protect the needs of each citizen, which I feel doesn't even happen here in the UK. I don't feel that that is the case. There is poverty. There's huge, poverty going on and destitution, and it just to me, it's just a very unnatural environment. And I just think working, especially when you're working damn hard for a corporation who don't give a fuck about you, is probably the worst thing you can ever do, because you're making somebody else rich at the cost of your own health and well-being. And when you get to that 60, 70 years old, what the fuck is that retirement shit gonna mean to you then? You're gonna be half fucking dead, mate. So it's just something to think about. I have a big problem with it. I left that matrix. I call it the matrix because it really is. I left that shit a couple of years ago. I saved up some money and I said, yo, I'm going to live very minimally and I'm just going to have my basic needs met, and I'm going to follow my dreams and my goals. And I'm going to invest my time and energy into me. I'm going to invest the money that I've saved up into my motherfucking self. I'm not going to put 40 years of my life into somebody else and waste my life. So just some points for you to think about. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.